I'm so excited, y'all. We have someone who is very special to me, Miss Geraldine Watson. She's a senior master sergeant in the military. I met her a few years ago in Abu Dhabi, but we'll get to that. We'll get to that. Um, where y'all coffee cups at? It's come on, it's Sunday coffee and conversation.
Hey.
Make sure you have your coffee cup because today is going to be good. Okay, we have a major leader from the military who's here who's going to speak with us about having and developing a positive mindset. And she can speak on it because she's a leader of 3,000 airmen. So she can definitely speak on having a positive mindset. Can you tell us, Geraldine, a little more about yourself and say hi to the ladies?
Yeah, good morning, ladies. I am a mother of four. I'm a single mother of four. And I serve in the United States Air Force, and I have been for 23 years. Actually, this week will make 23 years. Um, I'm pretty seasoned, so I'm 47. I know I look 27, but I'm just saying, no, I'm just joking. um, yeah, and so I am a member of security forces. Basically, security forces are considered to be cops. And I've been doing this thing for 23 years. Right now, I am the superintendent of operations and training, and we have approximately 234 individuals in our squadron. And I love what I do.
Yes. And so, guys, I met her in 2017 when I was in Abu Dhabi. I was a civilian working on a deployment military base, and it was my first time ever on a military base. So I was having some anxieties while I was there, right? I was out of the country living for my first time and on a deployment military base with all these rules, and I'm like this civilian free spirit. So so Geraldine, she was so sweet to me the entire time. She took me under her wing and she just really comforted me and really helped me through my process of living out the country for the first time and working with the military. So I want to say to you, thank you so much. You don't know how much that meant to me back then. So I really appreciate you.
You're so welcome. You were a joy to have.
Yeah, we had some fun. We did have some fun. So, can you tell us what are some of the challenges that people have to overcome when they're developing a positive mindset?
Well, it's the constant mindset shift. So when you're trying to be an optimistic person, you're always going to have those different things that come your way to remind you of your past faults. Those individuals that you place around yourself, it appears as if most individuals, it's so easy for us as humans to come off with something negative and then to say something positive. And so we have to be mindful when we're trying to do a mindset shift. Be mindful of your surroundings. Be mindful of who you're hearing from. Be mindful of what you're watching because all those things they actually matter. Yeah. And so the challenge is you may have to change your circle. So that girlfriend that was your best girlfriend, negative Nancy, you may have to either help her change her mindset or treat her with as my mom used to say, a long handled spoon. We still friends, I still love you, but we can't talk like we used to every day. So
Yeah. And especially when you're going through the process of transforming, right? It's really tough. And that's what I'm finding. It's really tough to be around some of those same people that at some point you didn't even understand that it was a negative thing that was connecting you guys, right? You didn't even understand the vibration that you was on at that point. But once you raise your vibration and decide that you want to change and you want to live a positive, more peaceful, more productive life, then you look at your life like, whoa, what is going on?
right. And then when you change your mindset, your conversations are different. And so when you encounter people and you hear all these negative things, you're like, what are they talking about? Like, why are they thinking that way? But and then at that moment you realize that your vibration is on a whole different level. It's not that you're better than them, it's that you're different now. You've changed your focus.
Yeah, and it's tough, right? It's tough to let go of people, places, and things that you've been around for years. We're not saying that it's easy, right?
Right.
But it is going to take a process. And for me, what I do is I just spend a lot of time with God.
Mm-hmm.
And Geraldine, she's at our prayer meetings every month. Last month, she was like, "Girl, we need to have our prayer meeting. Don't forget, and our time with God is so important,
Yes.
that moves our lives forward." So can you tell people how they can see past the trauma, right? And look at that in a positive way?
So, as you and I conversed about a little bit last week, Kiara, when it comes to traumatic things such as death, we often, of course, when the people are close to us, it's just like a life changing experience, and we automatically want to go to sadness. And as we talked about, it may be something that was learned, right? And of course, everybody's different, and we take things and respond to things differently. But I've learned that we're born, we live, and we're going to have to leave this place one day. So it's called the cycle of life, right? And so, of course, we have those individuals that when we live with them for a period of time, we don't want to lose them. But we have to realize as humans, it's a cycle of life. They're going to leave one day. And at that moment, you have to realize as a person that, hey, they're not here physically. They just transitioned to the spiritual realm. And now I have a guardian angel that's watching over me. And I can communicate with them at any time. But you just have to stop and be open to listen to hear them respond back to you. And so, don't get me wrong, I haven't always been like this, but it's just over the past few years, and 2020 didn't do it. I've been on this journey since like 2016. Um, just realized that, hey, there's so many things that happen in life that are learned, because sometimes as people of color, like, hey, when we go to the funeral, we got to act like this. Ha, ha, ha. And in actuality, you have to think about it. Like, I'm going to miss them, right? But how do I respond? Like, yo, I love you. I miss you. Your physical body is no longer here, but you're still here spiritually.
Yeah. And grieving is really tough. And a
Yeah.
lot of people been grieving
Mm-hmm.
these last 2 years,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yeah.
So just knowing that that person is in a better space and place, and you still have all the memories with them. And that's the thing that have helps me to keep a positive mindset around grief, is just all the beautiful memories that we all created together.
Yeah.
Um,
Absolutely. You have
and
to
what is it? Go
that
ahead.
piece of, I'm sorry, of like you said, all those positive things, all those memories, all the good times, just stop and laugh. Like, I remember when whoever did this and that, and we did this together, so on and so forth. But and not look at, oh, they're not here no more, they're not with me. It's just your mind. Your mind is a powerful thing. You have the ability to control your thoughts and emotions. So if you want to go down that rabbit hole of, woe, it's me, oh, I'm so sad, life sucks, you have the ability to do that. Or you can change your mindset in your whatever situation or circumstance you're in and say, okay, well, my car may have broken down, but guess what? I still have a ride to work. I have to work long job hours on my job, but I have a job. It's just those little small things like that. Either the cup is half empty or half full. We have to make that decision.
Yes. So for me, and I'm going to tell you guys a story from high school about what changed my mindset. So, Geraldine, in high school, ladies, okay, don't judge me. In high school, I was awful. I was awful. And all of my friends, we all were awful. And I used to always be in the hallway. I used to always have Saturday schools. Me and the Saturday school lady, we was friends. We were friends. And one time I got in trouble because we threw the Spanish books out the window. And I was told to go to the office. And my vice principal at the time, his name was Todd Kale, Mr. Kale. And he said, Kiara, He said, do you know if you lead in a positive way that people will follow you? He said, Kiera, you are a leader. And I just sat back and I was like, just call my mom. I'm ready for my suspension. I was like, I'm done. I'm tired of this. And he was like, no, Kiera, please listen to me. You are a leader. And if you lead in a positive way, people will follow you.
Mm-hmm.
And once that happened, that literally changed the trajectory of my life by his influence and him speaking to me and letting me know that I was a leader. So what happened in your life that transitioned you to start developing a positive mindset?
So for me, it was back in 2016. I had in the summer of 2016. I had been divorced 2 years, I think, since 2014. So I had been divorced for 2 years, and during that transition of divorce, it was a little challenging because I had the 4 kids. I had my twins, and they were really, really young, and so and I was having. So it came from when it was my husband and I. We were really financially sound. Everything was good, and then when we decided to get a divorce, the finances kind of depleted. And so I came from a level of, hey, I got everything I need. I don't have to worry about anything. To, hey, homegirl, you got 4 kids with like $100 in your savings. What you gonna do, right? And so I would just be like, Lord, you have never failed me, and I need you, right? And so I at that point I was like, either I waddle in my sorrows, or I say, I know God got me, right? And the summer of 2016, I had just gotten back from a deployment, and it was the kids and I. And when I went back to work, they're like, "You going on nights?" And I'm like, "Nights? I got my kids, blah blah blah." But I made it work. I went out, I found a teenager. God blessed me with a teenager who was getting ready to go to college. And she was like, I just need to make some money before I go to school. So she charged me minimal, and I lived on base. So I was able to go home, dip in, just check on my kids real quick and work. And when I tell you it worked, because I didn't worry, I didn't cry and whine and complain about the situation. God saw fit that, hey, we're going to have you on nights. We're going to give you a teenager that's going to charge you minimal amount of money to help watch your children. And then when you wake up after you get off, you'll have time to spend with them all day. And so I was able to get off work, go home, take a nap, get up, and then have them enjoy their whole entire summer. And it was one day, like August of 2016. I was like, you know what? I feel like I'm the happiest woman in the world. And at that point, like, God just started speaking to me in so many different ways. But I was like, you know what? It's all in my mindset. Either I could have looked at my situation as a tragedy, but God allowed me to say, no, you're going to walk this journey. This is what I gave you, and you're going to do it with the optimistic outlook.
Yeah, someone else said, I can relate to things being financially difficult after a divorce.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. But I'm telling you, the whoever that is, keep focus on what you want, not what you don't want, and I can guarantee you that your finances will change. But you have to be disciplined. God allowed me to encounter an individual during that time, and he made like 6 figures, but he lived a simple life. Cause I was like, why are you living like this? You like in a 2 bedroom apartment. It's not in the best area. Blah blah blah. And he was like, I just lived a simple life. And I at that moment, I had turned off my cable because I was like, I don't really need cable to watch TV. Turned out my cable, started using more coupons. When I tell you I started living a simple life, I started living a simple life. And that's when I realized too, God brings people into your life at a certain season and reason. And then, they transition or whatever. But he taught me how to live the simple life.
Yeah, I love living a simple life. And that's one of the things that in Thailand, everybody was about minimalism and just living the simple life. And it was so much more freer, right? Just
Mm-hmm.
living, just a simple life and not chaining yourself to a lot of debt, right?
Yes, and all these things we gotta look good, we gotta do this, we gotta do that. But you can have a nice outfit from Walmart.
Yes, very nice. And somebody said conversations are definitely different when you change your mindset. That is definitely true. And one of the things that Geraldine loves is positive affirmations.
Yes.
And she also loves meditation. So, can you tell us more about why meditation is important and speaking positive affirmations?
Okay. So with meditation, that allows you to have that quiet time with whatever God you serve, right? And so it removes all the noise and it
Mhm.
allows you to clear your mental. Now, when you initially start to meditate, your mind is going. You have so many things, right? But after a while, if you keep doing it, you set and you focus on those things that you want, not the things that are negatively impacting your life. Because so many times we often focus on the things that are negatively impacting our life instead of where we want our life to go. And so when you sit and meditate, you focus on where you want your life to go, and you focus on gratitude, those things that you are thankful for. Like it is so important just to sit and look at your surroundings and say, thank you. And even throughout the day, I do it all the time. If even when times come where I feel like, okay, ooh, I don't know if this is going right, and I breathe in and I'll say, thank you, thank you, thank you, and you'll breathe out because the relief is there. And so with the positive affirmations, man, Kiara, let me tell you about these positive affirmations.
Okay.
It,
You know I'm ready.
right. So if you guys look behind me, right?
Yeah.
I keep all like around my house. There's like so many positive quotes. All the stuff that you put in, it can, if you allow it to, it dwells within your soul. So that's why I say be mindful of the things that you read, the things that you hear, people you surround yourself with, because it contributes to how you feel each day. And I know for me, my God that I serve, he says, as a man think it or woman think it, so are they, right? So are you. And so I just been speaking like successful people are attracted to me. I am more than enough. I am worthy. So those things you have to tell yourself that, because if you don't tell yourself that, who's going to tell you? You know, those affirmations are powerful. And when you put out what you put out in the atmosphere, the universe hears it. And I tell my kids, words are like boomerangs. When you put it out, it's going to come back to you. So you want to be mindful of those words that you speak, like with everything. And a lot of times the kids are like, I was just joking. The universe don't know if you're joking or not. So you need to be careful of what you say.
Yeah, and that's one of the other things that we wanted to talk about, right? Is it's so many negative thoughts that come to your mind. It's so many times of the day, right? Like, how do we take these thoughts that are in our brain that are negative and just redirect them to something positive? I know one thing that you've said at least 3 times in this conversation is focus on what you want. But how do we redirect the negative thoughts?
So, like for instance, this one, I think this one probably hit home with everybody, because at some point in our life, all of us have been financially strapped, right? And so you look at it, like for instance, with my backyard, I was like, man, I need a fence because my home is a new built and they didn't have a fence with it. And so I was like, I need a fence, man. I need a fence, and the fence is like initially $14,000. I was like, I don't want to pay $14,000
Whoa.
for a fence. And so, and instead of saying, man, where am I gonna get the money for this fence? I was like, thank you, God, for my fence. Thank you, God, for the fence. Right? So instead of focusing on that need, you just start saying thank you for it. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Or like yesterday, my kids were, acting up a little bit, one of the twins. And I was like, oh, you're going to be good today. You're going to get everything accomplished that I told you to do. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And it's just little small things like that, because I tell you, 2 or 3 years ago, I would have went off on him and
Mm.
like, you gonna do what I told you to do, right? But instead, I'm just trying to transition and do things a little differently. Instead of yelling and screaming, say, hey, yep, you're gonna do it. Oh, I know, all things are gonna work out for my good. And so instead of focusing on the reality of it, you put it in there, send it in a trajectory of where you want it to go.
Yes. And I love how you mentioned children, right? And
Mm-hmm.
it's important for us to be positive so the children can see, you know, a positive figure who is, and it's all about like emotion regulation, right?
Yep.
Because sometimes we get in the heat of the moment and it's like, okay, step back,
Yeah.
step back, breathe,
Mm-hmm.
right? And like you said, thank you, God.
Yeah.
Thank you, God. You know, so you can just process those emotions that's coming through, you
Right.
know. So I think that's very good and that's very healthy to do that, especially right now with everything that's going on in the world and the kids are at home and they're not at home and they're in school and they're not in school and it's just a lot going on at one time, right?
Yes. I even have my kids every morning when we're transitioning to school and work. We say a prayer, and I have them do positive affirmations.
That's good.
And so I've also incorporated, hey, think on one thing that you want in your life. This is what I'm telling my children. Think of one thing that you want in your life for this week. And at the end of the week, I want you guys to come back and tell me how it transpired. And one of the twins was like, Mom. I was like, because one of his affirmations is, I'm an all around star player at everything I do, because they play sports. And so he came back and he was like, Mom, you know how I say every morning I'm an all around star player, everything I do? And I was like, yes. And so he said, well, I've been practicing my dribbling and I was having difficulties dribbling with my left hand. But now I can dribble with both of my hands. And I was like, there you go. Right. And it's getting them early on in life to
Yes.
know that, hey, if I speak it, I'm going to have it. But one thing we have to remember in that, though, it's not going to come on our time, but it's going to come at the right time. But we have to know that, because, like, so many of us are like the microwave. Ooh, God, I need this. Where is it at? You haven't given it to me yet. So many things and steps have to take place first in order for you to get that thing. But we have to understand that, right? Why is it taking so long for me to get the $1 million in my account? Well, do you know how to balance your checkbook and your finances to keep that million? You know? So it's not on our time, but it will come at the exact right time. You just have to have faith and trust and know and keep speaking that it's going to happen, whatever that thing is.
Yes, and one of the things that I know is a lot of ladies they want husbands, right? They
Mm-hmm.
want partners, life partners, and it's going to come. You just have to be patient. You just have to keep growing. You just have to keep loving yourself, right? What
Yeah.
do you say about that, Geraldine?
So I am, as I said, I'm a single mom too, and I desire to have a life partner. But my prayer is, Lord, thank you for preparing me for the man that you have for me, and the man that you have for me, preparing him for me.
Woo!
Two, both of us have
Woo!
happy,
That's a good one.
but both of us have to be happy with ourselves, whole and complete, right? Because when you have two people that are happy with themselves, whole and complete, when you come together, I have this thing of 1 plus 1 equals 2 to the second power, right? And so that second power is, I have this person and this person came together, and it's to the second power because God is in the midst of all of it.
Yeah,
But
can you replay? Can you recite that prayer one more time? What was we were trying to get the prayer down? What was the prayer? Get your pens and papers, ladies. What was the prayer, Shirley?
the prayer is, Lord, I thank you for preparing me for the husband you have for me and preparing him for me. Thank you for preparing us for one another. So when we come together, man, it's going to be unstoppable. And I'm just waiting, because you know what? We all have so many things that we have to work on. within ourselves, right? Because I promise you, I don't want a needy husband. Like, I need to call you every 5 minutes. Oh, where you at, babe? Hey, I have a life. I have all this stuff going on, and you have to understand that. So when we're separate, I don't have to worry about you calling another woman because you need somebody at that time. I need you to be whole and complete and be happy within, especially with my job, because I'm gone a lot, right? I deploy, I might be gone for 6 months at a time, and I need to know the man that God is bringing into my life, he's happy with himself, he's whole, and he is complete. He's loyal, and I don't have to worry about another woman coming in because I know he loves me. And so I'm just waiting on that. When I tell you I'm so content, Kiara, I am so content because I know God is just working behind the scenes on my behalf. He's making and baking them, baby.
Yes, and you created such a beautiful life for yourself, you know, and you want to make sure when that person enters your life that they just add value to the life that you've already created that's so peaceful and so calm and so, you know, and so nurturing, right? So once you come into that environment, he has to add to that.
Yes, yep.
Okay.
And we need to add to each other.
Right, and add to each other. You know we're gonna add now. You know we added. Okay, last thing before we go. So you've been in the military for 23 years. We honor you. We thank you. We appreciate your service. Now, what type of strength do you have to pull from as a woman, as a Black woman in the military when things are not going so well at work, and you need to pull from a different type of strength, leading 3,000 airmen?
Okay, so I want to just kind of make that correction real quick because I don't want anybody to see this and be like, she don't have 3,000 people over.
Okay.
When I was a military training leader a few years back, that was the overall individuals that I was responsible for.
Okay.
But now I only have like 200 plus within my organization. Yeah. So, but even just being a leader, you have to, I've learned that you have to be mindful of your words and you have to be mindful of your actions, because everyone come from different walks of life and we all interpret things differently, right? And so I can just say something like, yo, that's dope. One person can take it one way and another person can take it another way. So every single morning I get up at 4:30 and I work out and I pray and I do meditations and do my affirmations. And since I've been doing that, it prepares me for all of those different personalities that I'm going to encounter throughout the day, all of those different energies that I encounter throughout their day, and recognize that, hey, you don't know what this person encountered just because they have an attitude when they're with you. You don't know what they encounter before they encounter you, right? And so I always try to look at things from a positive perspective. And when I find the old Geraldine coming back up, I stop. I'm like, okay, just step back for a second. Think about what they're saying. Really think about the big picture in this situation. And then just move forward, right? Because we can always think, oh, I'm a Black woman. They don't like me, because I'll be honest with you. Majority of the time, I'm the only woman in the room. And I'm the only woman in the room that look like me, right? Which is okay. But I have to be confident in who I am sitting at that table, right? I can be like, hey, all these males that don't look like me, they're out to get me. Or I can say, hey, these are my colleagues, my counterparts. All is well, right? It's that cup has to be half full. And don't always think that people are attacking you.
Yeah, you have to just change the perception of it, right? To a more positive perception. And one of the things that we did this year was we did vision boards. We had a vision board party. Ladies, we're going to do another one, okay? We are going to do another one, and majority of the things on our vision board has come true, right, Geraldine?
Yes.
So that goes back to knowing what you want, being
Mhm.
able to visualize it, having it in front of you. And then what Geraldine does is she has her positive affirmations everywhere, right? So before we leave, can you tell the ladies about the importance of having positive things in their home?
Okay. So you have to surround yourself with what you want to be like, the what you want to project in your life. To constantly remind you of just try, follow your dreams. All things are working out for me. And I have one on my wall and it says, my peace is a luxury and I live a luxurious life. Right? So it's very important, even at work. I have positive affirmations all around my office because don't get me wrong, there's going to be times that throughout the day that those negative thoughts will come past you. But if you surround yourself with those things, you can just look around like this pillow on my couch says, life is good. And I'll say, okay, life is good. Live simple, whatever it may be. If you surround yourself with things and thoughts and words of where you want your life to go and how you want to live each day, it's a constant reminder that yes, this is the trajectory where I want to be and this is where I'm going and life is good to me.
Yes. And ladies, don't forget to always protect your energy, right? So take,
Protecting your energy is a must. When I tell you, people will, those people, especially if they know you optimistic and positive and all that stuff, they will come to you and try to dump all the things on you. But we have to set boundaries, right, Kiara?
yes.
Yes, we have to set boundaries to say, hey, no, not today. I can't do this today. Right. And I have an affirmation that says, um, I set boundaries and people will not throw all their garbage on me. And
Ooh.
so since I said that affirmation, I have a couple individuals, they'll call and say, hey, um, I didn't call yesterday because I was feeling down and I know you don't want the negative energy. And all I say at that moment is thank you, thank you, thank you.
Yes. And what was that affirmation again?
um, I set boundaries and no one would throw their trash on me, their garbage on me.
I set boundaries and no one would dump their garbage
Garbage
on
on
me.
me. Mm-hmm.
See, I love that. I'm gonna start using that one too to protect my energy. You need a whole book, Geraldine, about affirmations, okay? Because we still in them all. I'm watching the replay play and I'm taking them. All right, ladies. Somebody said they love that the prayer for your partner. Will definitely start my son on more positive affirmation. I love shifting the atmosphere. Thank God for my new house. Thank you for your service.
It.
He said, thank you for their service. So thank you so much, Geraldine, for having this conversation with us. Y'all have a peaceful, positive, and productive Sunday.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.